Boom! Chicka-chicka. Another weekend, another chance at the Aiwa Mega CD. Not PC, not Mega PC, no. Today we're going to be working on the board I worked on last week. In addition to what we've done so far, I'm going to actually change a few of the capacitors. There are a few 10 volt rated capacitors on there. I'm going to step them up to 16 volt. There's them there. Main reason being is that we're feeding in 8 volt, 10 volt and 12 volt. I'm not exactly sure what's being stepped down where. So there's at least 3 separate circuits. So I want to, just play it safe. So by derating them a little bit, gives me a little bit of room to breathe. And there's no problem with doing that, as long as I remember what the original markings were, if it ever needs to be recapped again. And I'll be making them available on Assembler Games and my website, which has been revamped and is still under construction and probably will be for some time. And I've lost the blog function, which is no real loss since it was just YouTube videos, which, as you're watching this video, you know where to find them. So we'll be doing that on this board. I've also gone ahead and purchased the appropriate capacitors for the other board, so I'll be redoing that one as well today. Probably won't record it all, but we'll have a look before and after. So with this board, there was one capacitor I forgot to order, which is that tiny little blue one there. He's still 10 volts, but I'll get him in the next batch, so that's no problem. But so we've got mainly 470s, a couple of 100 microfarads, and a bunch of 220s. So I'm going to get those on the board and we're going to go from there. So I'm about halfway through already. They're very easy to remove when the solder is so fresh. I was going through these ones. What are they? 220 10 volt. And I discovered that they all look this sort of, they're all this sort of shape. They're all Rubicons, so they've got the, oh god, they're rolling everywhere. They've got the little K shape on top of the capacitor for the vents. I'm replacing them with Panasonics, it turns out, which have the slightly different shape. So I've got the 470s, the 220s, 470, the 220. Those ones are already 16 Rubicons. I must have ordered them last time. I was looking over the board trying to find another one this sort of shape, which is slightly bigger than these little ones here. And I found the only one I could find was this one, but it's a 50 volt 47 microfarad. Which immediately struck me as odd, because all the 50 volts are typically 1 UF, because that's all they seem to come in. So I had a look at my spreadsheet, and while it looks exactly the same on top, it's not meant to be a 50 volt 47 microfarad, it's meant to be a 220 microfarad 16 volt or 10 volt. Looks like element 14 sent me the wrong capacitors and I didn't check. I assumed that they got them correct, so that's a lesson. That's a lesson right there. Check your capacitors. Don't trust even the big companies. They'll stuff it up. So I've of course compared with my reference board over here, and that one is definitely 220. So I'm going to put a 220 in there. Hope I didn't damage anything down the line. Fingers crossed. It seemed to work pretty well last week. But there you go, that's just a lesson. Lesson that I have learnt now, and I'm going to check through every capacitor when I get them. Tedious, but required. Alright, that one is recapped, so it's all good, except for that little capacitor, which I will change. And we also need to get that transistor there replaced, which is on order, but ETA is about a week or two. While we're doing that though, we'll also be replacing that transistor over there, voltage regulator, PNP type. That one's NPN. So stay tuned, we'll be right back after these commercials.